at one paper, past paper, Economa AFE. This must be Father Erastus. Karibu sana. Am I right? It must be Father Erastus. You can unmute yourself. All right. So I would want us to look at one paper here, which is very, very good. Now, this past paper is the one that was done on Tuesday, 5th of December. 5th of December, 2023. It was an afternoon paper. It's a CS, remember the course is Boardroom Dynamics. What happens at the boardroom is very, very important. If you want to get things right, let the board members be progressive in nature. Let them be the ones who are pushing for the success of the company. Now, I would want us straight away to look at some of these quite short questions. All right. So, for example, the one that I would want us to start with is this. Sorry. Question 5. Not this one. Let me just move slowly. You see, like, for example, question number 5, dog. Question number 5, dog. This is something that we discussed, Rebecca, last time. Highlight 4 characteristics of a progressive board. A progressive board, remember, unlike this like ceremonial board, a board that we put up there simply because we would want to market our company, but the board is inactive. The board is basically passive. Progressive board, these guys here will be actively engaged in boardroom discussions. These guys will be attending board meetings. They'll be having agendas to prosecute. And in this case here, for us to say that it's a progressive board, there are those things that I told you that must always be there. For example, ladies and gentlemen, the board can only be said to be progressive if the members are agile. Agility means what here? That they are able to basically take care of what here? Take care of any innovations with speed, These people must be having a vision board. They must be having something that guides them. So what I've done for each of these questions, I've been able to put answers. Like if you go to question 5D here, question 5D, you'll be able to see this for your quick reference. So like now here, highlight 4 characteristics of a progressive board, like adaptability. A progressive board embraces change and is quick to adapt to evolving market conditions, technological advancements, and shifts in the business environment. This is what we are calling agility. It can only be said to be an innovative board if it is embracing diversity and it's all inclusive. Progressive boards value diversity in skills, backgrounds, and perspectives. They actively seek varied viewpoints to enhance decision-making and innovation. So on a diversity, remember what we said last week, on a diversity, we said it will be very important if this board, for sure, if it's progressive, would want to have youthful members there. People, for example, who are in between this 21 to 34 age bracket would want to have old people there. And I was able to show you, for example, the diversity that we have in Safaricom's board. All right. This thing of having like a board of all accountants, it can never be progressive. Remember, people have got various skills, various ideas, various inputs. We can only benefit from these inputs if they are coming from if there are many perspectives in the board. So diversity and inclusion, we should be having in this case here, for example, some members being disabled. All right. There must be something that these guys will be adding on the table. In this board, for it to be very progressive, would want even some members here to come from the community, surrounding community. These guys here will be able to know, for example, what will be the very best CSR activities. We have a progressive board must have a strategic vision. A progressive board are forward-thinking, developing and executing strategic vision that positions the organization for long-term what-year success. Ladies and gentlemen, this board can only be said to be progressive. Remember, progressive comes from the word progression. They are able to progress the company. They're able to move this company from one profit level to higher profit levels, for instance. They're able to build healthy relationships within the company. All right. So for them to do that, for them to be progressive, then they must be able to involve or rather have what we call stakeholder engagement. Progressive boards prioritize active engagement with stakeholders, including shareholders, employees, and the broader community. They recognize the importance of understanding and responding to diverse interests. So it will be very important if you give me just a minute. I have to attach this solution here so that we can move with speed. I mean, once you have the solution, this class then should be able to basically be for purpose of just giving highlights, high-level highlights, and then you guys now should be able to make reference to this, answers later. Please, as I save this document for purpose of uploading it here, I know most of you could be board members or you will be board members. And ensure whatever company that you take up a board position, you champion for progressiveness. We want, in this case here, companies that progress. So you should be able to, like, for example, the CS students that I have here, I'm so sure most of you will be company secretaries. So ensure that you and the chairman, you have a forward-thinking board, forward-thinking board members. And this is something through training, through motivation, that you can easily do what here, you can easily achieve. Remember, there is nobody who is born with these skills. These guys will be learning. You'll be training them. You'll be training them. I'm looking for the chat section. Chat section. Have they changed this? Yes, I've seen it. So then I should be able to come here. I think now it should be able to accept. Let me try the last time, because it's important you guys get to organize your materials by printing them. Yes, I've been able to upload it in the chat room section. So are you able to download this? Father Estas, Elizabeth, Lizzie, Rebecca, are you able to see that document? If you're seeing it, please download it. Please download it. It's a very important document. If you just click on it, you'll be able to download it very fast. All right, so now I believe all of us have access to that paper. That means that now we can comfortably move on. Now, your question number 1 will be a 40-mark question. It's going to be a case study question. Like for this December 2023, I mean, question number 1, they gave us a case on XYZ company, XYZ corporation. The very best thing that you have to do for you to be able to get like 30 out of 40 of these marks, start always by reading what here? The requirement. Go to the requirement, go to the requirement, go to the requirement. So read the requirement first. Before you read the case, read the requirement first. So required, describe 5 ways in which XYZ Corporation fosters skills, competencies, and diversity within its board. So at least that now I have in my mind, as I read the case question, I'll be looking at all those instances where I can see skills are being imparted to board members, where I can see diversity. All right. Look at number 2, B. Explain 5 approaches that the board of XYZ Corporation could adopt in decision making. How do they make decisions here? Which approaches are they using? At least I have that in my mind. As I read the case question, I'll be able to identify. C, analyze 5 stakeholder communication mechanisms at XYZ Corporation, at XYZ Corporation, at XYZ Corporation, at XYZ Corporation, at XYZ Corporation. And then we have in this case here, D, examine 5 initiatives by XYZ Corporation that fosters a positive and an inclusive culture within the boardroom. I've taught boardroom dynamics for quite a while, and I like the paper because all these questions keep on repeating themselves. It's quite a nice paper. It's a nice paper. The moment you understand this concept of inclusivity, boardroom dynamics, stakeholder engagement, all these questions really, communication, management principles, basically, all these questions will be revolving around this. So then after I've cleared reading the questions, then I can now go to the case and read it. And we are reading it together with you. We are reading this together with you. So we are told here, XYZ Corporation, a multinational industry leader, recognizes the pivotal role of effective board dynamics in shaping its trajectory towards sustained success. The company places a premium on robust governance structures, acknowledging their fundamental role in steering the organization. So in this case here, the company here has lots of respect for the board. In Africa, there are very few companies that respect boards. In Africa, actually most boards in this case here are simply passive. They are put up there just for purpose of what here? Like ceremonial boards, ceremonial boards. Very few companies, I can tell you. I've been able to do a lot of engagements. I've been engaged by very many companies here to look at their corporate governance. And mostly, when I look at the corporate governance of many companies, I know the board is normally there for the sake of it. All right. You always get this one-man syndrome. Like one executive member, perhaps the CEO is running with the ball 100% of it without involving the board. But this is a company that is placing a premium on robust governance structures, acknowledging the role, the fundamental role of the board members in steering the organization. I love this. The company's board is meticulously structured to balance authority and accountability, comprising non-executive directors, executive directors, and the independent directors. The board functions in harmony with specialized committees such as audit, compensation, and governance. Compensation committee is the same as remuneration committee. At the heart of XYZ Corporation success lies the collective skills, competencies, and diversity of its board. So, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm able to see many answers regarding question 1 that spoke about fostering of what here? Skills, competencies within the board. Because you can see number 1, our board is diverse. So we have in this case here various men and women from various disciplines who are sitting together. Of course, there will be knowledge impartation. We will be having knowledge, moving from one person to another quite easily here. All right. A finely tuned skills, there is a skills matrix you can see. A finely tuned skills matrix guides board composition, ensuring a diverse range of expertise encompassing finance, technology, marketing, legal affairs, and other strategic domains. XYZ Corporation actively promotes diversity, fostering inclusivity in terms of gender, ethnicity, and the international representation within its board. Real life anecdotes, like stories, right? Where you have, in this case here, for example, these guys who are highly experienced being given an opportunity here to give stories like where are we coming from as an organization? Real life anecdotes and initiatives are explored, showcasing how this commitment to diverse skills and the competencies contribute to organizational resilience and innovation. Effective decision-making is demonstrated strength of board dynamics at XYZ Corporation. Deliberate discussions, way of communications here, deliberate discussions, consensus building, and a well-defined voting mechanism characterize the board's approach to critical decision points. These guys are making the decisions through discussions here. We have, in this case, a democracy because they build consensus here. And of course, democracy again, because there is what here, voting. The chairperson, as a key orchestrator, plays a pivotal role in facilitating discussions and ensuring robust decision making. You can see in this case here, the chairman is just a facilitator. He allows the other board members here to speak. The company's leadership not only explores instances where the board faces significant decisions, but also delves into the methodologies employed to reach consensus. The company leadership not only explores instances where the board faces significant decisions, but also delves into the methodologies employed to reach consensus. It also sheds light on how decisions are aligned with the company's strategic objectives and how they contribute to its long-term water success. Remember, that is why most companies will have the CEO sitting in the board. Because in this case here, the CEO will always be given time also to speak. That, I mean, you guys have got this agenda at the board. These agenda items, I mean, some of them are not well aligned with our company's objectives. Some of these things, as much as you're discussing them up there at the board level, like, for example, at the cabinet meetings, they're too sweet to be true. So that's why we have the CEO also being a board member. So in this case, the company leadership, of course, which will be the CEO and maybe the CFO, not only explores instances where the board faces significant decisions, but also delves into the methodologies employed to reach consensus. It also sheds light on how decisions are aligned with the company's strategic objectives and how they contribute to its long-term success. XYZ Corporation acknowledges the multifaceted nature of stakeholder engagement. Way of communication, regular and transparent communication mechanisms are in place to connect with the shareholders, employees, customers, and regulatory bodies. Stakeholder feedback influences board decisions, emphasizing the challenges encountered in balancing diverse interests. XYZ Corporation proactively, not passively, but proactively manages stakeholder relationships, anticipating needs and aligning corporate strategies with societal expectations. An intricate web of relationships contributes to the organization's overall resilience and reputation. You know, ladies and gentlemen, when we have serious relationships with our banks, with indeed our stakeholders, then we're going to be resilient. It doesn't matter what is going to knock our way. It could be COVID-19 or even serious phenomena. But still, if we are having great relationships, then we shall be able to conquer this and, of course, move even a notch higher. Within the boardroom, culture shapes the dynamics that reverberate throughout the organization. XYZ Corporation recognizes the importance of fostering a positive, inclusive, and collaborative culture. Initiatives are in place to nurture a culture of openness, innovation, and accountability among board members. There was close scrutiny of the impact of boardroom culture on organizational performance and responses to challenges. Real-world examples symbolize and illustrate how XYZ Corporation leverages its culture cultural ethos for sustained success, and resilience in a rapidly evolving business environment. Lastly, we are told here, as XYZ Corporation charts its course through the complexity of the global business landscape, its board dynamics serve as a beacon of exploration in the elements of influencing corporate governance. By emphasizing key governance practices, XYZ Corporation not only meets industry standards, but also sets a benchmark for excellence. Through this holistic approach to boardroom dynamics, the company positions itself as a resilient and adaptive entity poised for sustained success and positive contributions to the global marketplace required. Describe 5 ways in which XYZ Corporation fosters skills, competencies, and diversity within its board. So I have the answers, and gentlemen, here. Of course, you'll be able to, we have already spoken about most of them. So like they have a skills matrix guidance. Describe 5 ways in which XYZ Corporation fosters skills, competencies, and diversity within its board. So they have a skills matrix guidance. Ladies and gentlemen, you as the CS, because I'm teaching CS, Boardroom Dynamics. And of course, you as the future chairperson, chairman or chair lady, whenever board members, we have new board members coming on board, there must be serious orientation at the firm. Serious orientation to these members regarding the farm operations, regarding their roles as directors. Let them know that they're not coming here as executive people, executive employees of the, let them not start harassing people in the company outside there, other employees. No, they need to know their role ends at the board level. So in short, there must be a very serious orientation. And even after orientation, you'd want these guys here to grow. So you must have these skills matrix, all right? So XYZ Corporation employs a finely tuned skills matrix to guide board composition. This ensures a diverse range of expertise, covering areas such as finance, technology, marketing, legal, affairs, and other strategic domains. Number 2, commitment to diversity. Diversity, of course, will be able to foster, or rather impart, have skills impartation, all right? Commitment to diversity. We are told that the company actively promotes diversity, fostering inclusivity in terms of gender and international representation within its board. This commitment contributes to a more varied skill set and perspective, and learning will continue. 3, real-life anecdotes and initiatives. XYZ Corporation explores real-life anecdotes. Anecdotes are stories about real things, real happenings, and initiatives that showcase their commitment to diverse skills and competencies. This helps in attracting and retaining a board with a wide array of experience and expertise. Promotion of inclusivity. Initiatives are in place to promote inclusivity, ensuring that diverse voices are heard within the boardroom. This inclusivity extends beyond just professional backgrounds to create well-rounded and diverse boards. Skills-based decision-making. The board structures its decision-making processes around the collective skills and the competencies of its members. This ensures that decisions are informed by a comprehensive understanding of various strategic domains. Ladies and gentlemen, here the key thing that I'm supposed to remember about this knowledge impartation that I cannot forget. These guys have got a plan. Actually, the better explanation is that they have a plan. They have, in this case here, a skills matrix here, all right? A skills implementation matrix. So they know in this case here who is coming at what point and what is the calendar of training. Then we have this thing of diversity. Diversity is all about having people from different backgrounds, all right? Professional backgrounds being on the board, being on the table here. The moment we have this kind of various professionals, then learning will happen. Learning will happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we also have in this case here a chairman. We are told from the case, a chairman who is really looking at inclusivity, who is ensuring that there is debate within the board. A lot of debates within the board will bring a lot of these anecdotes you are seeing there, a lot of stories. You'll get a member saying that during those old times, these are how we used to do these things. So there is skills transfer happening, skills transfer happening. All right. Now from there, you can see here part B, they want us to explain 5 approaches that the board of XYZ Corporation could adopt in decision making. And they have told us up there, from the case question, you bring answers here, we get answers here. So like number 1, they have deliberate discussions. You know, when you are making decisions, of course, we would want us to ventilate through. We have to do a lot of discussions here. So there is a deliberate the board engages in deliberate discussions, allowing thorough exploration of various perspectives before making critical decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, whenever we talk of making decisions, we must be having what we call alternatives. So in this case here, I want to go to Meru today. How do I go to Meru today? Number 1, I can use the Nanyuki route. Number 2, I can use the Embu route. So once I have those alternatives, then I need to have members persecuting this agenda, talking about this. Sorry. So the board engages in deliberative discussions, allowing thorough exploration of various perspectives before making critical decisions. Consensus building. Decision making at XYZ Corporation involves consensus building, fostering agreement among board members, and ensuring a united front on important matters. This is a key thing. Whenever we are making decisions involving others, we reach a consensus. We discuss, all right? To make decisions as well, where we're not able to agree 100%, then we vote. Well-defined voting mechanisms. The board has a well-defined voting mechanism, providing a structured and transparent way to express individual opinions and preferences. To make decisions as well, we have our chairperson here, who is able to facilitate, who is able to, guide us. Of course, the chairperson is not supposed to take a vote, but you see, chances are you are the most experienced person. There are things in this case here you need to come and say, you know what, this one here we should do like this, you should do, without coercing anybody. After you've given that information, then people should be able to take a vote. They should be able to make a decision. So the chairperson plays a pivotal role in facilitating discussions and ensuring that the decision-making process is robust and what here, comprehensive. Then we have the concept of those executives who are ensuring that whatever we discuss is well aligned with the company's strategic objectives. The decision-making process is closely aligned with the company's strategic objective, contributing to long-term success. The methodologies employed are scrutinized to ensure they align with the company's vision. Then that means that we shall be able to make proper decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not for you, but we know that we have what we call decision-making process. Whenever you want to make decisions, decision-making process, whenever you want to make decisions, there are those steps that you follow. So number 1, you must identify the problem. There must be a problem at first for you to look for a solution. After you identify this problem, then number 2, you identify various alternatives of solving this problem. Identify various alternatives of solving this problem. That's number 2. Because you should never have like one way of solving a problem. No. It means that you're not very good in doing research. And board members, we are required to do research. We must have many ways of solving a problem. Number 3, after you come up with these many ways of solving the problem, then you need to evaluate them. You need what we call an evaluation tool. All right. It could be like the cost model. Going to Embu, to Meru through Embu, how much will it cost me? Moving through Nanyuki, how much will it cost me? Which one is the cheaper? So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, once we evaluate the alternatives, we shall be able to come up with what here, with the most viable option. If we want to succeed, from the boardroom level, we have to involve the board members in coming up with the very best alternatives. Let these guys here vote. if possible, for the very best. Let these guys, in this case here, reach some consensus if they can. Sorry. All right. So in this case here, let these guys here reach some consensus. Let's have, in this case here, very sober chairperson. Let's also have, in this case here, some input from the executive directors like the CEO, if we want to make good decisions. And we must also have a very sober certified company secretary. Because once we have a sober company secretary is the legal person, is the certified. We could be having other lawyers, but this is that lawyer basically who bears responsibility. We can't sit in a board and then we make a decision that we're going to kill Mr. A and B. And then you as a lawyer, you are very well seated there that you think that your role is to take minutes. And no, your role transcends that. Your role is more than that. You must be able to tell these guys that, you know what, these particular activities you guys are discussing are even beyond what? Are even beyond the articles of association. These particular things that we're discussing here, they are ultra vires. But I'm told in Companies Act that thing was removed. I mean, this is illegal. As a good CS, even before they start looking at the agenda of the day, it's important through your research, go through whatever agenda they have to see it through the lenses of the law. And then you can even advise as they start, in this case, or rather the tail end. You can say, as you guys want to pass this as a resolution, you know what? That's a wrong decision. It's an illegal decision like that. Are we together, by the way? Are you guys with me? You can use UI, you can unmute yourself. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rebecca. Now, look at this other factor here, other question, I mean. They want us to analyze 5 stakeholder communication mechanisms at XYZ Corporation. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we know that for our survival, if you want this organization, to do what you to succeed, to prosper, to progress, for our body to be called a progressive board, then we have to do what we call stakeholder engagement. I mean, look at tallow oil the other day, tallow oil in Turkana. We had a situation where very many members of that county decided to picket. They went and started, in this case, here, sitting on the road. And they said today, or for the next 1 week, there is no vehicle that will leave Lodwar to take their fuel, in this case, at whatever destination. We have refused. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this organization that we are so proud of, it is because the community lives. It is for the community, the presence of the community there, that this company, like even our college RCM, that we are able to survive. Because from this community, we are able to get employees. We are able to get customers. So basically, we are a member of a society. We are a member of this community. And for good neighbor relationships, then we need to engage with these stakeholders, all of them, the suppliers, the employees, everybody. So then from the context of this case, what are those scenarios that we've been able to see that are able to tell us exactly that there is effective communication, stakeholder communication going on? There's a place they told us that we have regular communication. XYZ Corporation maintains regular and transparent communication mechanisms to connect with stakeholders, including shareholders, employees, customers, and regulatory bodies. We have a platform where we allow, as XYZ, we allow stakeholder feedback. Stakeholder feedback influences board decisions, showcasing a commitment to responsiveness and consideration of diverse diverse interests. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are to succeed as an organization, we must be good listeners. We must be good in listening. Many times we've been given feedback by our employees and then we rubbish it, that this guy knows nothing. This guy is very young. This one here is not even learned at all. So we in this case here don't factor in their feedback into our day-to-day operations. That's wrong. That means you're cutting communication. Proactive relationship management. The company proactively manages stakeholder relationships, anticipating their needs. For example, you can see we have been in this organization since we built this organization in Kajiado, for example. We can see we are 5 years old. We can see the young girls and boys over there. Then we may need to even build like a school, CSR for the community and of course our employees, anticipating needs and aligning corporate strategies to societal expectations. We have transparent reporting. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if it is the profits that we are creating here, we must be able to declare them transparently for the benefit of all the stakeholders. The board ensures transparent reporting to stakeholders, providing them with accurate and timely information about the company's performance and decision-making processes. Then we have inclusive communication. Communication mechanisms are designed to be inclusive, addressing the challenges encountered in balancing diverse stakeholder interests. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, as per what we call a Mendeley, kama ile mende ya kawaida, but with L-O-W at the end, Mendeley principle. There is no way you'll have everybody being a yes man. It should never reach a point where you as a CS, you as a chairman, you will say that now we shall not be serving, in this case here, this and this person with any notices, or even some group of employees, or even in this case here, some members of the bigger society. No. Communication in this case shall be inclusive. It shall be inclusive. We shall be able to send our communications to everybody. Look at part D of this question. Examine 5 initiatives by XYZ Corporation that foster a positive and inclusive culture within the boardroom. Remember, you're getting your answers from where? From the case question. I mean, these guys are very, very open. These guys are very, very open to foster a positive and an inclusive culture within the boardroom. So you're told openness initiatives, XYZ Corporation has initiatives in place to nurture a culture of openness within the boardroom, encouraging transparent communication and idea sharing. I mean, this is very positive here. All right? Because the culture that we don't want, the bad culture is where we have one person, I mean, who is making like all decisions. No, that will be sad. Would want to have a system that is as transparent as possible and open. So you can see innovation culture. The company fosters a culture of innovation, encouraging board members to explore creative solutions and stay ahead in a rapidly evolving business. I mean, we are trying to pass through, in this case here, the culture of what here, people being innovative in the company. When people are being innovative in the company, and the company for sure is moving ahead of the competitors, then we'll have this board well aligned. Everybody will feel like the ideas are being, in this case here, appreciated. Accountability programs. We are told the initiatives are implemented to promote accountability among board members, ensuring that responsibilities are clear and actions are aligned with organizational goals. Positive tone set by leadership. The leadership of XYZ Corporation sets a positive tone, emphasizing the importance of collaboration and mutual respect within the boardroom. Impact assessment. Real-world examples and assessments are conducted to scrutinize the impact of boardroom culture on organizational performance and responses to challenges. This helps in continuously refining and enhancing the positive aspects of what here. The thing is, we want good culture. We want good culture at the board. So good culture at the board, we shall have members in this case here being accountable. All right. We shall have one member, for example, who should be reminding others, like the anecdotes. These guys are able to do great reminders of where we have come from, highlighting the strengths, highlighting the vision, the vision of the board. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from there we have in this case here this innovation where we are bringing everybody on board to give their ideas. Like the chairman, I love the chairman here. We are told that the chairman is spearheading great discussions, deliberations within the board members. So we want a good culture. We don't want a culture of what here, greediness. No, we don't want a culture of greediness within the organization. Question number 2. Highlight 3 advantages of a 2-tier board. If you've been with me since we started, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to remember we discussed about this 2-tier board. And we said, if you can recall, we have what we call 1-tier board, where we have executive and non-executive directors sitting on one board. That's 1-tier. And then we have 2-tier. 2-tier board, we shall be having in this case here, for example, a board at the top, comprising of what are non-executive, the independent directors. They only come to the board for purpose of boardroom deliberations here. They don't stay in the company to run the day-to-day affairs of the company, no. They only come in this case here for purpose of their liberating the agenda to come up with resolutions. Below it, underneath it, we have in this case here an executive board. So whenever you have got these 2-tier boards, of course, the very first advantage will be the checks and what here? The checks and balances. The disadvantage will be it normally leads to a very long decision-making process, process. Now, highlight 3 advantages of a 2-tier board: enhanced governance. A 2-tier board structure allows for a clearer separation between the executive and non-executive functions, promoting a more robust governance system. Specialized expertise. It enables the recruitment of non-executive directors who bring specialized expertise without being directly involved in day-to-day operations, providing valuable insights. Checks and balances. The separation of management and supervisory both creates a system of checks and balances, reducing the risk of conflict of interest and promoting accountability. So I believe, ladies and gentlemen, with this kind of a board, with this kind of a 2-tier board, I mean, there is a lot that I can write about 2-tier board. Apart from these checks and balances, apart from us in this case here being able to get the very best from, in this case here, the industry leaders coming in this case here to sit in our supervisory board, all right, of non-executive directors. I mean, there are so many things that I can see here. Even respect within the board. When you have in this case here executive directors seated on their own board, they would want in this case here to showcase how serious they are. An idea that comes will be sieved through 2 boards. So in this case here, we are basically coming up with a very refined, a very robust decision-making process. So summarize 4 dimensions that are evaluated in performance of management of board members. Remember, we have performance evaluation of board members as a whole topic. Rebecca, I don't know whether you have gotten now access to our learning management system, which has got notes, and now we are uploading these videos there. Have you gotten access to the learning management system, Rebecca? And of course,
yes, I have.
Okay, great. So I expect you, of course, as we discuss this, then you should be able to get now more insights from the learning management system. All right. Now, so of course, we shall be able to say that this particular director is performing very well, depending on the contributions they are making. So strategic contribution, evaluating how effectively board members contribute to the development and execution of the company's strategic objectives. Remember, the company will be having it's a strategic quarter plan. So, and we would want to work as per our plan. So if we have really members who are able to bring in very good motions that are able, for example, which are very well aligned to the strategic plan, I mean, then we should be able to rate them very high. Decision-making skills, assessing the quality of decision-making and the ability to provide informed and constructive input during the board discussions. Stakeholder relations, kuna ule mwenye anaharibu tu self-interest, all right? We should be able to evaluate, the members that we have. How are they relating with the fellow directors? How are they relating with employees? How are they relating with, for example, are they the kind of employees who are or rather directors who are telling you, hey, let's pay taxes? So stakeholder relations, evaluating how well board members manage and contribute to relationships with stakeholders, including shareholders, employees, and regulatory bodies. Compliance and ethics, ensuring that board members adhere to ethical standards and comply with relevant laws and regulations. If you get, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, directors who are always saying, hey, give us 50,000 for each meeting without even looking at how profitable a company is, then those guys should not be really assessed very, very highly. So in terms of also, ladies and gentlemen, performance evaluation, we shall look at your attendance to board meetings. Attendance to board meetings here. We shall look at, for example, your discussions of what year the board agenda. All right. So attendance, of course, we'll be looking at, if you have 4 meetings in a year, how many meetings do you attend? Did you come on time? etc. And then, of course, the discussions here. How many agendas have you ever brought yourself which have been able to be turned to a resolution? And these resolutions, do we have, for example, some of them that can contribute to our KPIs, key performance indicators? Explain 4 negative uses of power in organizations. When you have, in this case here, people who are powerful like the CEO. This CEO, for example, now is an autocrat. He's a dictator. So how can he misuse this? What are the negative uses of powers in organizations? You can see abuse of authority, using one's position of power to exploit or mistreat juniors, violating ethical norms and organizational policies, micromanagement, all right? Exerting power by excessively controlling and meddling in the tasks and responsibilities of subordinates, stifling autonomy and creativity, discriminatory practices, using power differentials to discriminate against certain individuals. So you are excluding others. Information hoarding, where you are holding onto information, deliberately withholding information that is crucial for decision-making or performance, leading to an imbalance of power and hindering what here? Collaboration. If you allow me, I'll be able to go to part D very fast. Describe 4 factors to consider in designing a board evaluation tool. Board evaluation tool. So how do we evaluate this board? We need a tool. We need some kind of a matrix. So describe 4 factors. They want us to describe factors to consider in designing a boardroom evaluation tool. Number 1, objective criteria. Ensure that the evaluation tool is based on objective criteria, allowing for fair and unbiased assessment of board members' performance. So objective. So let this tool be very independent. Let it lead to an objective, non-biased performance evaluation methodology. Relevance to organizational goals. The evaluation tool should be aligned with the company's strategic objectives, focusing on aspects that contribute to long-term success. Confidentiality, we don't want to start hearing that this board member was not this board. No. I mean, before some criteria happens, then in this case here, whatever we are using here to make the tool should be able to give us confidential. So confidentiality, design the tool to maintain confidentiality, encouraging honest and constructive feedback without fear of reprisal. We don't want to get a tool where members will be accused in the future depending on their contributions. But you went and discussed about this and this, like now what happens in the parliament? No. Regular review and update. Regularly review and update the evaluation tool to adopt to changing organizational needs and the governance best practices. Question number 3. Question number 3, discuss 5 characteristics of a strong board culture. Assess 5 strategies for developing emotional intelligence within board members. Ladies and gentlemen, you see at the end of the day, you as a company secretary, you must be intelligent. You as a chairperson, emotionally, you need to be what here? Intelligent. You need to know how to handle people. Remember nowadays, unlike before, there is a lot of criticism. Regardless of how good you are, you'd really be criticized. I mean, are you that kind of a person who has got a thick skin? So even if you get, for example, some 2 board members speaking ill against you, of course, should you in this case here like begrudge them throughout? No, it means you're not emotionally intelligent. All right. So question number 3, solution. Discuss 5 characteristics of a strong board culture, open communication. A strong board culture encourages open and transparent communication, fostering an environment where members feel comfortable expressing their opinions. All right. We have in this case here 2, accountability. Board members in a strong culture takes responsibility for their decisions and actions, holding themselves and their peers accountable for meeting what here? Expectations. 3, strategic alignment. The culture emphasizes a strong alignment with the company's strategic what here? Goals, ensuring that board decisions contribute positively to the company's trajectory. We want to move up. Inclusivity. A strong board culture values diversity and inclusivity, acknowledging the importance of diversity perspectives in decision-making processes. Adaptability. Strong board cultures are adaptable to change. Agility. Promoting a proactive approach to addressing challenges and capitalizing on emerging opportunities. B, assess 5 strategies for developing emotional intelligence within board members. Ladies and gentlemen, emotional intelligence, it's not very, very many people who are emotionally intelligent. There are guys, of course, who are born. There are, of course, guys who are born naturally intelligent, but most of us, we have to be taken through trainings. So then you should be able to organize emotional intelligence workshops. Organize workshops specifically focused on enhancing emotional intelligence. These sessions can cover self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and the interpersonal skills, providing board members with practical tools for improvement. We have the 360-degree feedback. You know, feedback is where people get it wrong. Somebody comes to give you feedback and you feel that they're strongly criticizing you. All right. All right. So 360-degree feedback. Implement a 360-degree feedback mechanism where board members receive feedback not only from their peers, but also from subordinates and other stakeholders. This can provide insight into the emotional intelligence and how their actions impact others. We need executive coaches, offer individualized executive coaching sessions for board members. A skilled coach can help them understand and manage their emotions better, develop effective communication skills, and navigate interpersonal dynamics within the boardroom. Conflict resolution training. Providing training specifically focused on conflict resolution skills. This can help board members handle disagreements and tensions in a constructive manner, fostering a positive emotional climate within the board. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this emotional intelligence is really put to test in various areas where we are meeting as individuals in a group. Even in marriage, if in marriage you're not very good in terms of conflict resolution, utaambia mzee wewe enda zako na mzee akwambia wewe enda zako, kila mtu aende zake, because both of you are not EI, are not emotionally intelligent. Cultivate a supportive environment where you're able to support each other. Foster a boardroom, foster a board culture that encourages open communication and support, creating an environment where members feel comfortable discussing emotions and challenges can contribute to the overall development of emotional intelligence. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been able to do my 3 questions. Normally, that is my objective. 3 questions in every session. That's very good. And of course, I've given you the solutions yourselves, so you can go ahead and read the rest of the questions as you do more research. So it has been a nice journey with you today. See you. And all my classes will be over weekends. I would prefer Saturday 4 p.m. And then, of course, Sunday, 6 p.m. We're going to make those changes in the timetable weekdays because I also work elsewhere. It is becoming quite crazy moving from Mombasa Road all the way to home, Thika Road. It's not easy. Thank you very much. Bye.